show 3-on-1, which is just how she likes it. And she's going to give us a quick little word, and then we are going to get into what she thinks about size and how much it matters, because there's a whole thing on that in here.
In a big octagon, now I'm pretending it's a circle because we don't need to worry about the sides anyway. So pretend we're talking.
That kind of sounded like a very practiced line right there, Laura. We don't got to worry about them sides anyway. All right, now let's take it back to the beginning here. Where are we at? Oh, come on. Don't fuck me. Here we go.
In overall, I'm going to go off their last.
Here we go.
Oliveira at 55%, to 47% for Ilia Topuria. The defense for Ilia Topuria, this was the one I really wanted to highlight. 64% of significant strikes defended and 49% for Charles Oliveira. That 49 is actually still pretty high. 64 is very, very high. And that is something that really jumps off the page when you watch him fight. Ilia Topuria averages 2.02 takedowns per 15 minutes. Charles Oliveira, 2.25, so they're dead even there. Takedown accuracy for Topuria, 61%, 40% for Charles. Takedown defense for Ilia Topuria, 92%, and 56% for Charles Oliveira. Submission average.
I don't see Charles winning that one. I can't see it.
For 15 minutes, 1.1 for Topuria and 2.7 for Charles. It's funny because normally I don't read out all types of statistics because a lot of times we're just focused on one aspect of the fight, but with these two, you really do have to think about the entire picture of how. I would like to kick off this conversation with what I feel like is the elephant in the room, the size. Do you think we make too much of it, or is it proper?
Okay, well, size isn't the only factor. There are definitely other factors, and including but not limited to quality, Laura. Okay. now we could just size matters. Size definitely matters. Everything has a limit. And yeah, size matters. Let me tell you, the size of that thing matters. It matters.
To really be thinking about the size in this matchup.
So more often than not, we make too much of it. And when I say size, we often make too much of it is like this.
Goddamn right, Dean. Tell that bitch.
He's so much bigger. He weighs more, this, that, and the third. But
size does not matter, Dean.
What's that?
So you're saying size does not
matter? That's what I'm saying. Laura's, and she tells us a little bit farther in the size that she needs. She does, and I will get to that here in a minute.
I'm not saying that it doesn't matter. I'm not saying it's the end all be all. But what I am saying is
well, yeah, because how she said it was that's the end all be all. Like just whoever's bigger is automatically going to win, and that is obviously not the case. Because there is the quality. And sometimes the only metric that you have to measure the quality is to put it in your mouth. Sometimes it's just the only way.
When we talk about size in this situation, the size that we do have to account for of Charles. Because I think in that situation, his length could be a problem for Ilia Topuria.
Yeah.
So Dean didn't have a problem with the size part as the qualification metric. What he had a problem with is it wasn't specific enough. That not just size in general, the length. It is the length which matters. Dean? You got to have that tummy tickler, Dean?
And being a little bit bigger and weighing a little bit more, I don't think is going to be much of a factor because we often talk about size because that's such a visual and it's so apparent we can see it.
Yeah.
But it's not it's not more important than speed, right? And we never really talk about that as being a deciding factor. We talk about size because it's something that we can see, something that we all
Yeah.
understand. When we were little kids, we saw that big guy at the playground that we were afraid of. So just like the idea of size kind of puts fear in us. But I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal as much
It's
as the length of Charles Oliver.
It's harder to measure, right? Because you can't, unless we were to actually make the
Well, that being a problem would just depend on the opponent's distance management. You know, that couple extra inches right there is only a problem depending directly and proportionally to the distance management of the opponent.
guys measure their speed in some sort of setting. It's really hard for us to know who's who.
No, that is false. You can totally measure people's speed. You could totally measure people's speed. That could totally be a stat that they put up. Like this motherfucker can flick it like this. That motherfucker can flick it like that. You know.
It's fast forward. I mean, we can see it in the fight, but it's hard to know. Like that's not part of the stats that are
Right,
listed,
that's never part of the stats. We never account
Exactly.
for that. But I'm telling you right now, that is as much as important as a size difference.
Goddamn
Speed is
Is this-
little buckaroo.
does penetrate.
Nope.
Yeah.
5 inches.
So that
No.
he's bigger, so he's
One and a really important one because that's a perfect example. If I can snatch you from 10 inches further away than someone else can, that's a problem. If I can wrap my hands around your knees easier.
Okay, so she just told us what she needs. She said snatch and 10-inch in the same sentence. Y'all think I'm reaching. That's fine. That's fine. Y'all can think that. Y'all can think I'm reaching. But I bet you if you got less than 10 inches, she ain't got time for you, dude, is what I'm saying. And you know, it's whatever. My delirium confirms to me that I am 100% right, and I don't need the validation or confirmation of anyone, because this is Dane's World, motherfucker. What's up? So that's about it. I've been waiting to make this shit for hours. I was waiting for some other shit to upload. So I was just wanting to talk shit on Laura Stanko a little bit. 3-on-1. What's up? That's how Laura likes it. 3-on-1. So I just fuck with Laura. She's funny. But no, she had some really good breakdowns though. If y'all haven't checked out her show 1-on-1, go check it out. I'm the brightest night. I'm the darkest light, and I am ascending, as are we all. Step into Dane's world. Stay sexy, motherfuckers. The dark light is upon you.